I was literally like screaming in the park. I was like, oh my god. I remember when I first uploaded it, there was some YouTuber and he just posted this like hate comment. This TV company contacted me and they wanted me to be on a show. I got out the old fit. It is an understatement how much that Breath of the Wild means for me. And if it wasn't for this game, this channel would not exist. This video that you're watching right now would not exist. So many things in my life has happened because of this game, and I'll explain the many reasons why. My journey with this game was unlike anything else before, and there will never be anything like it again. Nintendo during the Wii U era was a struggle. Being a fan, it was really hard, but the Breath of the Wild, or known as Zelda Wii U, was the game that really changed everything, and I was there from pretty much the start. With the Switch 2 coming out, I wanted to do a video discussing about Breath of the Wild and just how many things happen with the game, and just my personal stories that maybe deep cut are for you. But you know, if you maybe only started playing the Zelda series recently, or maybe you've never played Breath of the Wild, you know, there's a lot of stuff here that is really interesting, and how this game, I mean, it completely blew off the socks of everyone. I was not expecting this game to be as big of a game as it was. Breath of the Wild is something truly special, but we gotta go back to the beginning. So around 2013, it was announced that the Zelda team were working on a new title for the Wii U. And we didn't really know much about it. There was no title, nothing. It was just, we all called it the Zelda Wii U, or Zelda U. Things didn't start to pick up until E3 2014, which is one of my favorite E3s. I was actually at my 8th grade picnic graduation when this was happening. And my phone was on low percent, and I needed to watch it. I needed to watch it no matter what. I just remember all the different announcements, and then them announcing Splatoon towards the end. But they showed Zelda Wii U and the endless grass. Like, it was like, oh my god, it was just like everything. I just remember being in the park and watching this live stream, and just how crazy it was. I just remember Aonuma talking about the original Zelda and showing Wind Waker, and how to have like this, you know, changing the Zelda formula, and then showing the grass, the endless grass, the huge land of Hyrule. I mean, it is so rare for Nintendo now to show games this early, and there's so many things with Breath of the Wild they showed so early. Even this in 2014 still, like, there's still more they show. They were like, oh, this game's coming out 2020, not 2025, 2015. And yeah, we all know that didn't happen. But towards the end of Aonuma talking, they run the trailer. And it was so crazy to see this whole chase scene. You have the Guardian chasing Link and his horse just going through the forest, the Guardian breaking the bridge, then Link jumping off the horse, which was like, oh my god, this looks so sick, and then pulling out the ancient arrow and shooting the Guardian. And oh my god, it was so fire, it was so cool. And at the park, I was screaming. Like, I wish that I recorded it. I don't know how I would have. But like, I was literally like screaming in the park. I was like, oh my god. Like, I was just so stunned. One thing from this is I remember a lot of people were thinking that Link was a girl when this came out. Like, a lot of people were like, oh my god, Link is a girl and all that. I don't really know where that came from. I guess maybe the longer hair, I guess. But yeah, that was really interesting. Now, all that is fine and dandy, but it was so crazy for Nintendo to drop, what, 3 minutes of gameplay of Breath of the Wild during the Game Awards at 2014. I love rewatching this footage all the time, because we literally have like early beta footage like of the game, and the game looks so different, it sounds different, it's kind of hard to hear, but it's so crazy because they show the whole map on the Wii U gamepad, and I just remember all the countless videos I would watch, all the analysis videos, just everything going into detail about it. It was just so crazy. And the thing is, where they start the gameplay, right behind them is Hateno Village. And if only they just panned a little bit, like I would have loved to see Hateno like early on. But wow, the game just looks so different. There's a lot that are the same, but it's just so interesting, and that was just so crazy at the time. So after December in 2014, there really wasn't much since the Game Awards, but at a direct in I believe November, Nintendo announced Twilight Princess HD. And at the very end of this whole announcement, they show like 10 seconds of Breath of the Wild. And I remember like literally every single thing that they showed at this game, I was just all over it. Like I was just like, oh my god, like it looks so insane. This whole like turnaround shot with Link and his horse, and like you can see goats in the background. It was just like, I don't know. And there would be like full 10-minute videos analyzing just that small like 10-second clip. And it's just, Breath of the Wild was just something so new and something so fresh, and it was just so interesting seeing every new thing about it. With all the excitement I had, I really wanted to discuss about what I thought about Breath of the Wild and my personal theories and where it fits into the timeline. So I made my very first video on this channel, the real timeline placement of Zelda Wii U.
With the game we have known about for over a year, and coming out this year, 2016, we have had hardly any information about the game. Many people have had theories of when and where this game will take place in the timeline.
I was just so excited, and I just wanted to share, you know, my thoughts on the game. I then later put up other theories, but people didn't really like them as much. But yo, I put so much time, and I was just like, yes, like this is what is gonna be. And yeah, I was completely wrong. So we're almost to Nintendo's E3 of 2016, but first, there was one last thing that was a little tease about Zelda Wii U, and that was with the release of Twilight Princess HD. So if you go in Malamar in the HD version, if you look on the wall, there's actually these paintings are just screenshots of Zelda Wii U.
Do you see that right now? That is Zelda Wii U. Oh my gosh. You know, I have that on like all my screensavers, and then look right there. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
You know, it's not much, but I remember at the time it was like, oh my god, because it's just this, Zelda Wii U, it was just this looming feeling, you know, like this game, it wasn't like dead silence, like they're not discussing the game, they're not showing the game, like what's happening to it, are they still developing it? Like, yo, they were working hard on this game. You know, it's coming out, and like, it was just so exciting, even just a small, tiny thing like that. And then we get to E3 of 2016. But before that, something actually got leaked the day before. Best Buy accidentally leaked an image of the Breath of the Wild artwork, which you can see right here. It's where Link is climbing. Not only that, of course, you see all of Hyrule, and man, I remember like you can see the Great Plateau, and people being like, is that the Temple of Time and stuff like that? And there's the castle, Which honestly, I don't really remember a lot of people discussing about that. Which, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there. I also remember about the bridge, and I think some people were connecting the bridge to the bridge that you partly see in the 2014 gameplay footage, which, yeah, is the same bridge. But the main thing was, yeah, Link climbing. And it was like, Link is climbing? Like, it was so kind of strange. But it's like, oh, you know, okay, you know, he's climbing, you know, whatever. But then the next day happened. So all of Nintendo's E3 was focused on Breath of the Wild. There was Sun and Moon, but it was mostly all just Breath of the Wild. And they dropped the first trailer of full trailer. And it was just immediately like, I could not believe it. You know, you hear the wake up Link and it's like, oh my god. And like the lightning strikes and just everything, you know, seeing the world. It was mostly the Great Plateau, but seeing outside, you see the desert, you see, you know, the snowy areas. Like, it was just so crazy. And it was just so great to finally see this world. And it was just incredible. Experiencing this journey before the Switch came out, being a Nintendo fan during the Wii U era, it was truly a special moment because it was seeing this build up to the Switch. And I don't think anyone was expecting the Switch to become, I mean, such a success. I mean, when we first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is gonna be huge. I mean, obviously, I thought it would be better than the Wii U, but it was just, wow, just out of the park. That trailer opened up even more questions and things to theorize about. Something like seeing the Koroks in the treehouse after. It's like, wait, does this take place after Wind Waker? And when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, I was right. But no, I was not right about my timeline placement. Yeah, this trailer is something very important to me, but this is really what kicked off my channel. I can't even remember how many subscribers I had. I had maybe 3, 5, and I was afraid to show my face. I was afraid to do a reaction to the E3 with the whole picnic thing, and then things like the 10 seconds of Breath of the Wild we saw the previous year. And oddly enough, seeing Federation Force the year prior, which I was not very happy about that. During that time, I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself. And I thought my subscribers, my 5 subscribers, they would unsubscribe after seeing my face, seeing my reaction. And there were some people that like called me cringe and stuff, people saying that my reactions were fake and stuff. And I don't know, but the thing is, yeah, the video just took off. And, you know, all my videos prior, the highest video I had in views was 13 views. I did gameplay videos and, you know, the timeline placement video. It wasn't 13, it was 33. Yeah, 33 views. I had 2 videos that were tied at 33. But yeah, that video, it got picked up and people were watching it, and that was a way that a lot of people found my channel. I then shortly did a video after. I was like, thank you for 10 subscribers. And then shortly after that, I reached 100. And I was like, oh my god. Like, I remember watching the view count of the video just go up and up and up, and I couldn't believe it. Like, it just would not stop. That was one of the first ways that people found me, and for that reason, the video is really special to me. And it's really nice to look back on my reactions and just how excited I was and everything.
Oh! Oh! Breath of the Wild? Yo!
Going back to the Treehouse gameplay though, it was so interesting at that time because seeing the Temple of Time, and it's like, oh my god, like what Temple of Time is this? And then the fact that you could jump, you know, it's just kind of normal now, but at the time it was like, oh my god, you can jump in a Zelda game. And you can in Link's Awakening, but like a 3D setting, like not jumping off a ledge or anything. Like there's a jump button. What? Another thing I remember is this was never shown in the Treehouse footage, but people who played the demos, they found the Stone Talos on the Great Plateau, and it was like, oh my god, like there's a secret boss and it has its own theme and everything, and I remember no one could defeat it. And I remember seeing that footage and I was like, wow, like there was so much footage that Treehouse showed, and it was really just the Great Plateau, although I do remember them showing shield surfing, a clip of that, and also fighting a guardian. It was just so cool because all of that footage, and there was a secret boss, and it was like, oh my god. The last thing from the demos that I remember is I remember people looking in the distance and like squinting their eyes and being like, what is that? And it's like this floating UFO, these like floating blocks like in the distance. And it was Va Meadow, which is Rivali's divine beast. And it was just so funny because it was like looking in the distance like, what is that? And it's just so interesting looking back at that time because now we know what these things are, and like, you know, things like jumping, it's like that's just normal now. But yeah, at the time it was like, huh? So then in October of 2016 we had the Switch reveal, and that was just such a great time. I remember it was early morning, I had to go to school, I had to quickly record and then like immediately bolt to school. But it was just so crazy seeing, you know, all the rumors about it being a hybrid and everything, and then actually seeing it, and actually seeing like Breath of the Wild on the Switch, which they confirmed that it would be coming from E3 that year. And finally, you know, the Nintendo NX, it's now the Nintendo Switch, and you can play it on the go, you can go anywhere with it. And the biggest thing with Breath of the Wild is I remember seeing the Hinox in the footage, and it was like, whoa. And looking at the Hinox now, you can tell, like you can see the shrine orb on its necklace. It's one of those 3 Hinoxes that you have to fight to get one of the shrines. The last things of 2016 was at the Game Awards, when Nintendo used to have a presence. I wish they still did. But before the show even began, they showed a new trailer of Breath of the Wild. And this is why I always watch the pre-show now, because so many people missed it. There's not a lot that is shown in this trailer, but we do see our first sneak peek at what Zelda looks like. And then later during the actual show, they have Bill and Nate that demonstrate the game, and we see Cass for the first time, and we see just them going into the Faron region and just fighting some Lysophos. And there wasn't really much at all from that, but I just remember the biggest thing from that is I remember people being like blown away about the AI of the Moblin. I think Nate, he throws a bomb at the Moblin and he like walks around it. And like, I don't know, at the time I'm like, okay, like, but like people were like, oh my god, the AI is so smart. And I mean, you know, the enemies are pretty clever in the game. Sometimes. I wish the Moblin kicked the bomb back at him, because I feel like that would have been pretty funny. And that would have been like, oh my god, like, I like that a lot in Breath of the Wild. Alright. 2017. January. And we have the Nintendo Switch present. This presentation was, wow, it was incredible. It's one of the most exciting times as a Nintendo fan. Like during that time, I mean, it was a struggle. 2016 was an awful year to be a Nintendo fan. I mean, Animal Crossing, what is it even called? Amiibo Festival, and then you had Paper Mario Color Splash, and then you had the Mario Tennis game, Ultra Smash. That is easily the worst Nintendo game that they have ever put out. But going from that to the Switch reveal, which was really exciting, it's like, oh my god, this is a whole new era for Nintendo. The marketing is completely different. But then going to the presentation, because the presentation was incredible. Game after game after game, seeing Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade 2 and things like that, but nothing mattered more than Breath of the Wild. This trailer still, I literally just watched it earlier, it still, every single time, it gives me goosebumps. This to me is my personal favorite trailer, any game of all time. I love the Dread trailer, that's another one I really love. And I love the Tears of the Kingdom one. I watched it after the Breath of the Wild one. The music is fire with the saxophone, but nothing can compare to just the sheer excitement and anticipation for this game, this new, fresh Zelda game that I've been waiting so long for. And seeing it just in full, seeing the voice acting of multiple different characters, the zoom out shot of Link standing on the Sheikah Tower, like, and seeing Zelda for the first time. I mean, it was just so incredible. The whole music and everything. Like, I know for sure whenever I'm like older, like 20, 30 years from now, you could play that trailer for me, I feel like I would just start crying. I would just start bawling, because just the sheer impact that this game has had on me, and still we haven't even got to all of it yet, but it has just meant so much to me. And that trailer, oh my god, it was just so incredible. I mean, how else do I describe it? But wow, it was just incredible. And I also uploaded my reaction for that, and that is now the biggest video on the channel. I mean, easily. I don't even know how many views it has, but it has a lot more than my first Breath of the Wild reaction.
Yo, this game looks so... Zelda! Yo! I can't! Yo!
And yeah, I think that's really where I guess a lot of people know me from. But it was just, oh my god, it was just so amazing. And I mean, just thinking about it, you know, seeing the scenes in my head, it just gets me excited, you know? And even after that reaction, I go into analysis mode. Like, I'm like, oh my god, like, what is this? Is this Kakariko? Like, all this stuff, like, it was so exciting. It was so fun. And wow, it was great. One thing of note, I remember with my reaction video, I remember when I first uploaded it, there was some YouTuber, I don't know who this guy was, but he also did a reaction. And immediately, like, I post it, and he just posts this, like, hate comment. Like, this really just angry comment at me. And I'm like, what? I was just so baffled. I can't remember what he said, and I don't remember who the heck it is, but I remember watching their reaction, and they were just kind of sitting there. And you know, people react in different ways, but why going after someone? You know, like, I'm excited for the game. Like, what? Another thing with the comments, I remember there was a whole, like, argument going on in the comments because people were like, oh my god, the Japanese voice acting for Zelda during the crying scene is so much better than the English one. And it was just back and forth, back and forth. And it was just, oh god, that was kind of exhausting. I was so excited for this game, and to, you know, hype myself up even more, I did a marathon called Zeldathon. Every day I would stream like a different Zelda game, starting from the original to Skyward Sword at the time. And it was really fun, and that's actually when I first passed 500 subscribers as well. That was just so fun, and Zeldathon really became like a big thing for my channel, even though I've discontinued it for now. It was just so fun, you know, the anticipation of the next Zelda game, and yeah, it was just great. Pretty much immediately after my Zeldathon though, I actually played Breath of the Wild. I played it early. It was only about a week or two early than the actual release of the Switch, but I did get to play early, and just being there, playing the different games, actually touching the Nintendo Switch, but also playing Breath of the Wild. And there's this emote I have on the channel where it's called Piper Happy. I mean, it's very simple. But it's this emote where I'm like, really, I'm just this big, huge grin. Like, I'm really happy and everything. And that's actually from this video that I did at the event. And it was me moments away from being able to play Breath of the Wild. And I was just so excited, so happy. Wow, it was so cool. It was so cool to play it early. And then the Switch finally came out. And when it did, it was just so special. I was supposed to open it on stream, but I couldn't help myself. I had to open it. And I did stream the beginning of Breath of the Wild. Someone spoiled me about the old man, which is not very far into the game, but oh my god, I was really upset when someone spoiled me about that. Breath of the Wild, such an incredible game. But the story doesn't end here. So shortly after Breath of the Wild released, I was hooked. I was playing every day. I had like over 100 hours within a week. I was all over the game. I could not stop playing it. And I did this video called My Zelda Addiction. And I put that video out just talking about how amazing the game was, you know, how addicting it was, you know, just so excited about Nintendo's future and everything. And it's like, okay, you know, people like commenting, you know, being like, yeah, like, you know, it's so great. But then I get an email. This TV company contacted me and they wanted me to be on a show. And at first when I got this email, I was like, is this real? Is this fake? But yeah, it was actually real. It was a manager from this TV studio, and she wanted me to be in this documentary, and it was about video game addiction. And I was like, what? It was just so crazy. And the thing is, I never responded because I saw it too late. But the thing is, I actually did. For years, I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, it's like, oh, that was weird. But I actually did contact them back, and it was kind of this back and forth thing. It was so bizarre. But yeah, it never came through. But they actually did come out with a TV show, and they did do like a gaming addiction video on someone and everything. But it was so crazy that they saw that video and they were like, yeah, let's get this kid on the show. And like, I don't know, that was just so bizarre. 3 months later, after enjoying the wonderful world of this brand new Hyrule, we had the first DLC pack coming. This DLC pack added the Switch 1 shirt, which was pretty funny because you still get it on the Wii U version. And there's different things too, like there's the Korok mask and other different outfits and stuff to wear. There's also the Hero's Path, which is pretty helpful, but also really cool to look back on where you've been. But then there's the big two, and one of them being the Trial of the Sword. And wow, the Trial of the Sword is hard. There's 3 different trials you have to do, and all 3 of them are just so hard. But what's even harder is doing it in Master Mode, which this pack also introduced. And Master Mode, oh man. I used to hate Master Mode, doing it every year for Zeldathon because I couldn't have a second file, but now you can for the Switch 2 edition. Every single time I would do Zeldathon, I would try to beat Breath of the Wild in one day. And it was really difficult. I had to do this whole map route. I had to route out everything, but it was so difficult because the monsters healing, not only are the monsters stronger, but the healing, it became such a pain. But Master Mode just makes the Trial of the Sword even more difficult. It kind of makes it impossible. I did actually beat all of the Trial of the Swords in Master Mode, but yeah, that was really difficult. But the Trial of the Sword in Master Mode, I think, were a really great addition, and I'm kind of sad it wasn't in Tears of the Kingdom, because Master Mode, it's nice having a different difficulty, but the Trial of the Sword, like, there's those shrines in Tears of the Kingdom where it's kind of like it, but nothing like the Trial of the Sword, and I kind of miss it. The last thing for Breath of the Wild for 2017 was the Game Awards of that year, and Breath of the Wild had a really big presence. During the show, they had this whole thing with Aonuma pulling out the Master Sword, and then I remember with like the Divine Beast, the 4 laser beams. That was really cool. But during the show, they revealed the last DLC pack for the game, and that was the Champion's Ballad. This DLC extends the game quite a bit, and it introduced one of the best dungeons in the game, one of the best bosses, and one of the best rewards as well for beating it. I remember when they dropped this trailer, and it was so exciting because I remember watching it. I'm like, oh my god, you know, there's the one-hit obliterator, which that's really fun as well. But at the end of the trailer, it's like, okay, the trailer's done, you know, it's over, and then you just hear this vroom, vroom. It's like, what the heck is that? And then you just see Link on a goddamn motorcycle. I'm like, what?
What? What? A motorcycle? Are you crazy? Are you? What?
It's like, oh my god, like, forget using a horse. Like, I'm riding a motorcycle. I think the Master Cycle Zero really is great in Breath of the Wild because it's great for going up terrain, and I don't know, it's just fun just riding around on, like, I'm so excited to just ride around on the Switch 2 version, and yeah, that's gonna be really fun. And of course, with the Game Awards, Breath of the Wild ended up winning. I remember it was kind of a competition. There was Odyssey, and then there was Breath of the Wild, and yeah, Breath of the Wild ended up winning, and Breath of the Wild is just such a phenomenal game. I feel like it's really impacted so many people. It's inspired a lot of people. It's inspired a lot of new games and how games are made and everything. You know, it's just so crazy that this game had the huge impact that it did, and it's from the Wii U. You know, it is on the Switch, but this game is a Wii U game. But this game is so important to me. So many things that has just changed in my life because of this game, my excitement for this game, just everything. And it still continues to this day. And years after Breath of the Wild came out, I was doing a stream where I was just kind of messing around in the world and making these Guardian spaceships. And that's where I met my now wife. So yeah, Breath of the Wild has really impacted me in a lot of ways. I'm really excited to play this game again on the Switch 2. I've played it countless times, I've done it 100% many times, master mode, everything. I've done this game, played this game. I have over 500 hours in this game. I've played a lot, but I'm excited to revisit it, and I'm really interested to see what the Zelda notes will be in this game, and Tears of the Kingdom as well. And I'm actually going to be doing a live stream if anyone wants to check that out. And if you'd like to see any of my reactions that, you know, I've talked about or shown in this video, I have a compilation where it's all of my reactions that I've ever done for Breath of the Wild. And yeah, I can't express enough just how much this game has impacted me and just everything in my life. And I'm really excited for this new generation of Nintendo. If you saw the other week, I went to the grand opening of the Nintendo San Francisco store, and I'm gonna be there for the launch of the Switch 2. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. And I'm excited, I'm pumped, you know, this generation, the Switch, or Wii U, you know, like it's coming to an end. It's still not over because, you know, Switch 2 edition is coming. But man, I really wanted to make this video, and I really hope all of you enjoyed. Maybe this was a bit nostalgic. You know, I feel really nostalgic about this game with how much it means to me. Thank you so much for watching. Really, I really appreciate it, especially if you made it this far. But yeah, I just wanted to share just how special this game means to me. I've always wanted to make this video, and I hope you really enjoyed. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.